What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all having a great day. And if you're new to the channel too and want to hit the subscribe button, that'll help me out immensely. I have been gone another 23 days, I think, since I last uploaded a video. And again, within those 23 days, I've been hustling overtime at the main job, mobile mechanic work, detailing like crazy to obtain the extra money to fulfill this RB25Neo build. And in this video, it's going to be a spicy one because of the title of the video, we will finally be assembling my 600 horsepower RB25Neo. Just got back about 2 hours ago from Phoenix Alpert Shop. My friends and I picked the 25Neo and it looks amazing. I cannot wait to show you guys. It's sick, and then we'll go over everything from head to block on what got done. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump right into this video. Introducing my semi-built 0-mild RB25Neo. If you've been following this new build series for a while, you would know that I have obtained a plethora of parts for the Neo, essentially to make it bulletproof, and now it is all finally assembled with all of the machine work I will go over with you guys real quick in the next clip. But essentially, in terms of what has been done, of course, we had the whole entire head and block remachined, bored out, line honed, decked the head, we decked the block. The head is fully built with a full Kelford setup, springs, retainers, new valve stem seals, 264, 272 exhaust and intake cams. We did the Nitto oil restrictors in the block. In terms of the internals in the block, we did head studs, main studs, Nitto 1.2 millimeter multi-layer steel head gasket. We ultrasonic the rods and the pistons, new OEM piston rings, so essentially they look brand new as the picture I'm about to show you here. What else did we do? We remachined the crankshaft, we lightened and balanced it. We installed the Nitto flat drive collar to accommodate our very expensive Nitto oil pump. We got the HKS timing belts, Kelford exhaust pulley that's adjustable, full Ross Racing Race Series trigger kit, as you see there. What else did we do? We just pretty much refurbished the water pump. Again, head studs, main studs, ARP. We got the Nitto head drain in the back here. And then also, I believe this is Boost Stock or Outsider's Garage. It's a baffled oil pan kit. So this now holds up to 7 to 8 quarts of oil, which is amazing. Also, Albert went ahead and installed this 10 ORB port for me, so I can run the AN line to the head, back to the pan. We also had to do some modifications to the oil pickup tube. Since this is from a Stagia, it is sort of routed different, so the pickup tube is different. If you're gonna run a Neo from a Stagia, that has to be done if you're going to be running this Boost Stocks or Outsider's Garage oil baffling kit. What else did we do? New hardware, and oh yeah, I've got my Nismo low temp thermostat installed. And then over here, then we got some bracketry that I repainted. We're going to install Outsider's Garage or Boost Stock AC, not AC, what is this? Heater core delete kit. I put the half moon seals in. We got some PRP titanium exhaust and intake bolts, And we got our G3770 turbo by Garrett, gradient intake manifold, R-Tech manifold, and then our new valve covers, which I'm stoked about. We have our new Bosch knock sensors to install, as well as our Torx RB oil block. It's going to be sweet. And honestly, that's pretty much about it. I believe Albert told me I can comfortably run 600 horsepower out of this thing at like 20 pounds of boost. It's not gonna live there. Again, like I can't emphasize this enough. I'm only going to want to push between 4 and 450 wheel. As you can tell too, we also painted the block with some heat resistant VHT paint as well. Came like this nice wrinkle finish. Also, we did upgrade the rod bearings to ACL bearings. And again, that's pretty much it. And then I have all the extra fittings for the block since I will be going the AN route. And you guys know that I love to be as transparent as possible with you all in terms of cost, because I know you all want to rebuild or build your RB, SR, JZ, LS motors, or essentially any engine in general. And just note that each machine shop is going to have different rates. But in terms of labor, machine work, and extra parts, Albert bought for me with his discounts. I paid, if we were rounding up, $6,300, which I think is very fair. It's my first time getting a motor built, but a lot of work was put into this RB25Neo, and it definitely shows. In terms of how much I have invested right now in the RB25Neo series, we're sitting between $14,000 to $16,000, which is an insane amount, but I'm very grateful for all my sources of income and you guys for supporting me via YouTube channel and social media. But enough of me yapping, let's finally start assembling the RB25Neo. We'll start from the head and then work our way down to, I guess, the oil pan. Before I put the valve covers back on, here are our juicy 264, 272 Kelford cams. Just got done installing the R35 GTR coil bracket and coil pack kit from PRP. Looks good, and then I just went ahead and put on my boost stock oil splash plates. Coming along very nicely. And then I got the outside garage billet aluminum half moons with some RTV. Next, we can finally mount the new rocker covers. All right. Ooh, that's nice. That's hot. I like that. Rocker covers are on and they look amazing. I'm going to send out my oil cap to get powder coated the same color since I have a little bit left, because this blue really doesn't match up well with the rocker covers. But essentially they are hand tight, and I'm going to tell you the sequence with the torque specs on the screen here. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you can do that twice. Just got done installing the titanium PRP exhaust studs and just put on a new OEM exhaust gasket as well. These are very pretty, definitely worth the money. And what I like about these are at the end, it's suited for like an Allen, so you can use one of these socket types here and get a better torque on them. And per Nissan guidelines, handbook, maintenance log, these are torqued to 22 foot-pounds. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and install our beautiful R-Tech V-band manifold. Got these studs torqued down to spec, which again are going to be 22 foot-pounds as well. The top is very accessible. As for the bottom, just do your best. I was able to get most of them with an extension, except for these two here. To get this manifold on, you have to have it halfway off, and then you can slide these two bolts here specifically in, and then to torque them down, just do your best with any wrench you may have. This was honestly very challenging. I mean, just look at the location of that. It's horrid, but this is definitely not going anywhere, and hopefully I don't have any exhaust leaks. But again, 22 foot-pounds across the board. At this point, I'm gonna go ahead and take off this oil drain fitting, clean the thread, go ahead and mount or install my 10AN here, throw on the wastegate, and then slap on the G30-770. Garrett G30-770 mounted to the Arctic manifold, and it looks amazing with the color scheme. Incredibly stoked how this came out, and also the perfect size turbo for the power level I want to achieve. Not the permanent orientation I'm going to keep it at. Of course, once we get to the fabrication part of the build, that's when we'll finalize the orientation. But I do plan on doing a 3.5-inch downpipe back to a 3-inch downpipe. But fits good. Just need to order the remaining fittings for the block, for coolant and oil, and then make all the nice lines. And then I need to also get some heat sleeving as well. Now we'll go ahead and do the cold side. First, I'm going to put the Tarks plate on. Then we'll go ahead and put on the boost docks, heater, core, delete, and then we'll go ahead and slap on our new titanium PRP intake manifold bolts, and then the Greddy intake manifold. I did mess up. I forgot to cut this off for the evap canister, so I'm going to have to use a Dremel and do my absolute best not to cut into anything and get essentially this bracket and part of the hose off. We'll go ahead and remove the VCT solenoid because the way this all sits doesn't really allow the Greddy manifold to sit flush. Just got done installing the Tarks RB oil block. Looking good, got the accommodating 10AN fittings on, as well as my aftermarket oil pressure sensor. Just gotta plug up the oil pressure sensor here, and then I got this plugged up as well for the oil temp, which I may utilize in the future. Also just got done installing and torquing down the boost docks heater hose lead kit. So straight from the thermostat housing to the block, and I just put a little bit of thread sealer on there just in case. And then I got the new Bosch knock sensors installed. So at this time, first I'm going to figure out how to cut this hose off, or hard line for the charcoal canister. And then once that's done and cleaned up, we can go ahead and put our PRP titanium intake manifold studs, and then we can finally mount the Greddy intake manifold. Ladies and gentlemen, we are finally finished assembling 93% of the motor. Some fittings I need to change out still, but I'm going to be doing that on my own time. But for the most part, everything you see is torqued to spec. This manifold was such a headache, even though it was an authentic Greddy part I got from Japan. For some reason, the casting here, if you can see, was a little wonky and I couldn't get the bolt through, so I had to elongate the hole several times to get it right. And also I can only utilize a couple of my PRP titanium hardware. I think these are really meant for just 10mm like sheet metal intake manifolds, but I did utilize the parts I got from Greddy. But everything is nice. Still gotta finalize the plumbing here. Injectors are good. And then again, get this powder coated to match the valve covers. And then search for a clear cover for the 25Neo. And then for the most part, everything's good. Turbo's nice. Oh, let me mount the hypergate real quick. Then of course, we need to build AN lines from the head drain to the pan, and then I gotta find a 10 ORB port. But incredibly stoked, everybody, with how this came out. Just assembling it in my room, my office. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And on that note, everybody, that is all I have for you in this video. The amount of progress we made in the last 2 days was amazing, and again, the RB25Neo looks spectacular. Also went ahead and threw on the Funk Motorsports turbo blanket on the turbo just to see what it looks like. It looks pretty cool. And then also couldn't get the wastegate on properly because of the fitting down here for the turbo. I need to convert this to AN, and the wastegate will fit as it should. And then on my own time, I'll go ahead and install the power steering pump, alternator. Still need to buy the accommodating belts, a ton of AN fittings, make a ton of AN lines, and then I just need to form up the intake with the fueling system and some other bits here and there. The list continues, but incredibly stoked with the amount of progress we made in the last 2 days, and I hope you guys are just as excited as I am to see the 25Neo in the Skyline, or at least just the Skyline running again. It's been a little over 2 years, and we are on the fast track to getting the Skyline up and running in no time. So, not too sure what the next video is going to be. Unfortunately, I'm working a lot. I have a potential business deal I'll be working out hopefully this week, and if everything works out accordingly, Skyline is going to be moving much faster, and then we can hop back onto the Mark II build, which I'm incredibly stoked. I miss making the Mark II content, and I've been sourcing parts here and there, and it's just up to me to pull the trigger on some goodies. But other than that, guys, again, that is all I have for you in this video. Thank you so very much for the continued love and support. And if you're new to the channel too, want to hit the subscribe button, that'd be awesome. And remember, aim high, drive low. I'll catch you next video. Take care.